Hello and welcome to the Art of Costume Podcast. I'm Elizabeth Joy Glass.
And I am Emperor Deity Spencer Williams.
You wish.
Yeah.
You wish, Spencer.
all you have to do is get married, and next thing you know, you're a god to some people.
You know, apparently, this is apparently how it works. How you doing this week?
I am doing good. I have been preparing for the past 72 hours for today's episode.
Same.
And it's a real fun one. Historical Hot Girl Summer got real hot.
It did. It absolutely did. But first things first, Spencer, I believe you have the results of our Pride and Prejudice stitch rating.
We have some business to take care of. So if you listen to our last episode, Pride and Prejudice, Elizabeth and I just could not decide on what stitch rating to give Pride and Prejudice, because it obviously was stunningly beautiful.
Yes.
Costumes, production,
Yes.
acting, directing, everything about it is stunning. There's just some parts to me they're like, I don't know, just kind of drag. So it just, I don't know. We just couldn't.
Yeah, it was a hard one.
I gave it a 3.5.
I think I gave it about the same.
Yeah, I don't know. So we went to the audience. And I was like kind of worried that maybe like a couple people. No, the costume nerds blew it out. So I had some great statistics.
Here we
I'm
go.
a math person.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm not even going to pull it up because I just have it memorized. So
Yeah.
TikTok was a little bit of a smaller pool. Maybe it was like 10, 15 costume nerds reached in. I mean, I should actually read some of the comments. They were all very...
Oh, we got comments too?
Oh, we got a lot of comments.
Oh, man.
I-
You have to bring up the comments.
Okay. I mean,
Bring up the comments.
okay. I mean, there's quite a bit. I'll try to be quick because we have a big episode ahead.
Oh, yeah.
But some people, like, for example, someone who I actually very much admire on TikTok, Semele Eaton, who has a also great podcast and talks about costumes on TikTok. She said, as an adaptation, it's a 3.5. But as a standalone film, 5 stitches.
Yes.
Which I was like, yeah.
Absolute. You know what? Yes. Yes.
Seeing it on the big screen really solidified my wavering opinion. It's a beautiful film, both visually and story-wise, enough to convert many non-period film watchers into ardent fans. I actually think it transformed the genre. Ava Rosaire said, everything's a 5 for me, which I totally agree with. Some people said it's one of the best Pride and Prejudice adaptations. This Marie said, I prefer Sense and Sensibility. One person said they actually hated some elements of it, which we did get a 1, and someone said it's a 1 for the music, and I was like, whoa.
What?
Even I was like, I don't know about that.
The music's quite good, in my opinion.
No, they said the music's the only thing good.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm not going to name this person's name just to protect them from the costume nerds.
Okay.
So we got a whole bunch of them.
You know what? Everybody has different opinions.
Right. Also, we said between 1 to 5. Many of you gave us numbers within the millions. Including some people that I will not bring up on this podcast. So there was a lot. From Instagram, we had a lot of comments, a lot of ratings, probably like, I don't know. We were getting into the 100 costume nerds weighing in.
Dang.
And when I got the rating, it averaged out to about a 4.8, 4.9.
You know what? Fair.
It was mostly 5s, and TikTok was about a 4.5. So,
you know what? Thank you, costume nerds.
So
thank you.
I feel like we have to give it a 5 because that's just where the scale pushes. So,
although that 3.5 for adaptation, yes, absolutely. Like I think that's what I was hung up on as a Jane Austen person, but that's the perfect.
Yeah. So official stitch rating is a 5 due to all the costume nerds weighing in. So thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Now that we have that out of the way, Historical Hot Girl Summer really kicks up in a film that I cannot believe I haven't seen before. Actually, I can't believe once you and I sat down and texted each other when we both saw the runtime at the same time.
So yesterday I fully had a cold and I go to Amazon and I rent it. and I see the 4 hour.
Yeah.
And I immediately text Spencer with like the face emoji. And I'm like, this movie's 4 hours long. He's like, yeah.
I was like, I'm actually on night 2 of watching this movie.
It took you 2 nights.
I actually didn't finish it last night. I fell asleep in the second half, and I woke up again around 2:30 in the morning with a new burst of energy. So then I finished it. We were talking about Cleopatra.
1963's Cleopatra. Yeah. There are multiple. So I'm just.
Well, this is the one.
This is the one. This is the Liz Taylor, Richard Burton Cleopatra story.
This is the one that's regarded as the nail in the coffin of the golden age of Hollywood. I've gone on a deep dive today.
I bet you. I'm glad you did, because I have a lot of like just I have random facts about things. Yeah. And I meant to like go watch documentaries and like YouTube and stuff about the behind the scenes of this. I didn't, because I was sick and ended up taking a 2.5 hour nap. But no,
I was getting my oil changed, and I had the volume on full blast. So the people working on my car were also like, damn.
They were like, Richard Burton did what? Yeah. Liz Taylor did what?
I know, it's serious. So you saw my book and you're like, oh, he took a bunch of notes on the costumes. None of this is costume related.
Spencer picked up his costume, his little like opinions notebook, looked at me and put his bookmarker in and then closed it. And I was like, okay.
No, these are just some of the scandals that happened in the creation of Cleopatra.
And there's a lot. Yeah. But before we dive into all of that, Spencer, do you want to give us just the littlest summary?
I will try. Cleopatra, a sprawling, spectacular love story following Queen Cleopatra of Egypt as she experiences both triumph and tragedy, manipulating Julius Caesar and Marc Antony in a bold, ill-fated attempt to save her empire from the rising power of Rome. And that's Cleopatra.
That is Cleopatra. If you don't know the story of Cleopatra, I suggest you go watch it, or watch the HBO miniseries Rome. We have to do that at some point.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Or just look up a documentary on her. Fascinating woman.
Yeah, from what I've gathered, almost none of this is historically accurate.
Pretty much no. Yeah, and a lot of the like love story, especially of Antony and Cleopatra, comes from the Shakespeare play. So.
Right. I wasn't here for historically accurate. I kind of knew what I was getting myself into.
Yeah, so. It is what it is. But going behind the costumes, we have directors Joseph L. Mankiewicz and Ruben Mamoulian. In addition to those 2 directors, we have 3 costume designers today.
Right.
And Spencer, they are rock star costume designers of the golden age of film. First up, we have the men's costume designer, Vittorio Nino Novarese. You will know his work from Prince of Foxes, Spartacus, 1960, The Greatest Story Ever Told, The Agony and the Ecstasy, Cromwell, for which he received an Oscar, and Blazing Saddles.
Oh, Blazing Saddles. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a random one to throw on there.
Right. I think that was one of the last, if not the last,
that makes sense,
film he did.
No, that's many years later.
Then we have women's costume designer, Renié. You will know her work from Cat People, The Model and the Marriage Broker, The President's Lady, The Big Fisherman, Caravans, and Body Heat. And she did get some Oscar nominations and wins in there, and I forgot to put them in. I'm so sorry.
But we will revisit her, I'm sure, in a future episode. So.
Absolutely. And last but not least, we have Elizabeth Taylor's costume designer, Irene Sharaff. You will know her work from Meet Me in St. Louis, Brigadoon, Guys and Dolls, The King and I, 1956, West Side Story from 1961, Funny Girl, Hello Dolly, and Mommy Dearest.
I mean, Irene Sharaff is one of the best. I don't know that we haven't done an Irene Sharaff episode yet, so I've been waiting to.
We almost did Funny Girl once.
That's true. That is so true. It was on a schedule, but I don't remember what happened.
Something happened.
Yeah. So excited to talk about it. The fact that Elizabeth Taylor had her own costume designer is crazy.
Like that. And it's just so old Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's so old Hollywood that the star is like, no, I want this person.
Well, I mean, that wasn't her only ask.
Oh, I know. Yeah. And these 3 designers for Cleopatra designed 26,000 costumes.
Wow.
Along with 8,000 pairs of shoes. Their budget was $44 million in the 1960s.
Right.
Which, like, that's some big box office budgets today.
It was the most expensive film ever made at the time.
Yes. And box office, just under $58 million.
Yeah.
Which, like, dang.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I listened to some podcast today about how much it was in today's money. I don't know, but it sounded like quite a bit.
Yeah.
So do the math for us, like we elaborate, we're not math people.
We're not math people.
Yeah, I mean, can we bring up some of these scandals, or do we have them?
Go for it, Spencer.
I mean, like we said, she had her own costume designer, but that's not the only thing. First, like when they reached out to Elizabeth Taylor, she basically said that she would only do this movie for $1 million as like a joke.
Yeah.
And they gave it to her.
I know. Oh my gosh. I watched a like documentary about Elizabeth Taylor years and years ago. And it had a clip of like an interview she did.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, I was in the bathtub and I told my husband like not to bother me. And then he told me what they wanted. And I was like, only if they give me $1 million.
Yeah.
And they agreed.
I was listening to The Plot Thickens. It's hosted by Ben Mankiewicz, which is like related to the director, which the director is also related to Herman Mankiewicz, who did Citizen Kane. Of course, that's a quite famous family. So because she actually agreed to this $1 million, Fox Studios was like, we're gonna go all in, so we're gonna make this a big deal. So they had her sign like a fake contract for like a publicity stunt, and because she did that, she knew that she had Fox Studios well, she had them locked down now she did it in public. So part of her contract included 2 penthouses on location, a Rolls Royce with a personal chauffeur.
Okay, fair.
First class airfare for her family and her agent. Yeah, I mean that was really just the beginning, and it just continued to grow from that point.
I'm sure.
On.
Well, before we get into this wild film, let's take a little break, Spencer.
Yeah, we're gonna need it.
We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Dan, who does all the magic behind the scenes. I wanted to say thank you, and if you want to support the show even farther, go to tpublic.com/user/theartofcostume, where you can buy a couple variations of our logo on t-shirts, mugs, and stickers. Also, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're an audio listener, leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. Now, back to the show.
Spencer, are you ready for Cleopatra?
I don't know if one could be really ready for Cleopatra, but I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Like...
I don't think they were ready for Cleopatra.
No, they were not ready for Cleopatra.
No.
Like, costume nerds, if you decide to watch this film, you just clear your schedule for the day.
Yeah.
Because there is an intermission, and you will need a break.
Yeah.
That's when I took my 2-hour nap.
You know why there's 2 directors credited is because there was one director who was working on it for many, many months, and Elizabeth Taylor, unfortunately, was very prone to getting sick a lot. She was always getting sick, And then they were moving location to location where they kept building these sets and then kept turning them down. Because at first they're doing it in LA. They said, nah, let's go here. They went to London and then that didn't work. It was so bad. Like at one point they kept having seagulls. So they got like pounds and pounds of fish and put them off location to drive all the seagulls away. And it kept raining. Obviously it doesn't rain in Egypt. So then they end up going to Rome eventually. And then and they also they didn't have a script. So it's just like one nightmare after the other. And then so eventually that director ended up being like, okay, I'm done. And he was, after months, they turned in 10 minutes of footage, all without Elizabeth Taylor because she was sick the whole time. That's when Mankiewicz took the job, and also very reluctantly, and he said that he hated the script. And so much so that he wouldn't even go see this movie if someone else made it. But then Fox also offered him a very, 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 very generous sum.
Money talks.
Yeah. So that lays the stage for Cleopatra.
And speaking of the script, Irene Sharaff is quoted in the book Dressed as saying, the script called for 60 changes of costumes for Cleopatra, from a girl of 17 to a woman of 37. One tends to think of Cleopatra as looking the same through her relatively short life, but of course, the maturing had to be indicated. She does this so well, especially because the first time we see Cleopatra, she's rolled out of a rug.
Yeah.
And is wearing this great but simple orange and white number, which I really like because she's apparently like run off into the desert. She's running from her brother, husband, who's trying to murder her.
Yeah. Wait, did you say brother husband?
Yes, it's a whole Egyptian thing.
That didn't come off to me. I knew I hated him.
Yeah. But I mean, she was also the older sister. For her to have power, they had to be like married. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, we don't get involved.
Watch a documentary. So it's like simple, like she was running away, but still, she still looks so good.
Yeah, she
still looks like clean and glamorous, like not like she was running away through the desert.
And it is interesting because with this very long film, which I believe it originally came out to almost 5 hours. It was 5 hours. They cut it down.
Good.
You do really see her kind of mature throughout the film. And from the moment she rolls out that rug, there's like a very young, flirty, runaway queen vibe about her to the end, where it does feel like just like a very proud but concerned mother once you get to the end of the film, because so much time passes by. You don't really know how much time is passing by, but things like the costumes really do kind of act as visual cues.
It really does. And I love this like slew of costumes she has when she's trying to seduce Caesar. Mm-hmm. They're all very young, very flirty. Irene said, for Cleopatra, I started using a chart to help keep things clear. It covered one wall of the small office, was useful for the color plan, and served to tell at a glance which costumes and accessories had been shot, which were noted next, and which would be called for later. From then on, I used charts for all large productions.
Yeah.
She had to have a spreadsheet.
Yeah, spreadsheets before there were spreadsheets.
Yeah.
I mean, there were so many costumes. I can imagine getting lost in all this and making sure you're like, did we shoot this already? Especially the way the script was being made as they were shooting. Yeah. It's like, I don't know what I've used and what I haven't. So
no.
Yeah, I'm sure Irene learned a lot of good habits working on Cleopatra, because if you could do Cleopatra, you could probably do anything.
You can do anything.
So I do love Cleopatra's like tendency to wear a lot of these like sheer looks around Caesar, very sexy and flirty. If she's not like in a bathtub, which is like her preferred method of.
I love how like the next two scenes we see her in after that opening, she only has like a piece of fabric draped over her.
Yeah. Very, very sexy, obviously.
Very sexy.
But then still like modest 60s sexy though too at the same time.
Well, they had to get past the censors. This somehow has a G rating.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I get it, but also like very risque.
We'll get to the nipple tassels later. Just saying.
Oh yeah. I don't know if I got a photo of that in here, but we'll talk about
Don't
that.
worry, they're in here.
I also love this film because obviously there's not a ton of research for this. Irene Sharaff lived the longest out of all these costume designers, which I think is why I was able to get some quotes from her. But mid-60s, golden age, not a ton of research.
Right.
There is a lot of film analysis of Cleopatra, though. And one thing I noticed, and that a lot of people like, is not that it's the first film that does it, but it has a very strong mixing of influences of the 60s and, you know, their research of Egyptian culture. And then Cleopatra also went on to influence fashion in the 60s. But I like, because nowadays people are like, oh, they like always have to bring in like modern design to film. And it's like, film's been doing this forever.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't a new concept.
No, not at all. Cleopatra, it definitely is one of the big ones to do. I mean, there was even, I was reading an article that Revlon did like a Sphinx pink lipstick or something that came out. Like, this film, as like mixed reviews as it got, really influenced culture. I mean, people were obsessed with it. Well, not just like the movie, but like also, of course, like the affair between Liz Taylor and Richard Burton too, which like
we'll talk about that later.
Like the paparazzi and like everything about this movie was like the talking of, so really had an influence everywhere. So while of course we could talk about how this film, you know, lots of white people.
Yeah.
You know,
if you're looking for historical accuracy and, you know, representation, this is not the film.
No, if you look up Cleopatra, the movie, in the dictionary, it'll be right next to appropriation.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Trust us, we understand.
Yes. But this really, for what film could do at the time, it was like, we don't really get spectacular films like this anymore.
No, this is an epic, honestly. Well, I believe there is one currently possibly being made with Gal Gadot, which I'm like, we'll see.
Gal Gadot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Gal Gadot's origin is similar to, allegedly, what I read, the actual Cleopatra. But that aside,
anyway,
I would love to see a Christopher Nolan version of Cleopatra.
Stop.
That would kill. Anyways.
Okay, anyway. We should probably just stop chatting.
Yeah, seriously. Let's move on.
Let's move on to this, when she's officially declared pharaoh, is what I think was going on in this scene. I just love the Hollywoodification of the costumes.
Yeah.
The lame, the sequins, the like jewel-studded headpieces, which I'm like, this is not even close to historically accurate, but I would not mind like a really nice photo of this for my wall.
Yeah, it's you can't like take your eyes off of it.
No.
Every single piece, like they're definitely just, I would say they're probably just inspired by like hieroglyphics and what they like.
That's absolutely.
That's, you know, they're just taking the odd shapes that they're seeing on these walls and like taking them literally. I don't know. I mean, it's funny because like everything in my head of like what this culture would look like comes from like a mummy and now Cleopatra. So I wouldn't be the right person to do this either. So to them, like, yeah, this made sense. So like, let's throw on this orange hat. she's holding the, I'm not even sure what they're called, and call it a day, but it looks beautiful.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous. I love Caesar in here. He's wearing like his nicest armor.
I'll say,
and the laurels.
Rex Harrison as Julius Caesar is arguably one of the best parts of this movie.
He kills it. He's actually kills it.
Very good and very convincing as a leader and a Caesar, and I would understand why Cleopatra would fall in love with him.
Yeah.
That's why I think the first half of this film is light years better than the second half.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially when he has to go back to Rome.
Oh.
And the way she enters Rome. Oh my gosh.
My Stitch rating jumped very high.
I know.
During this scene.
I know. Like, costume. Like, I think...
You know who texted me about the scene actually was our friend Janae. She said there's a scene in Cleopatra where Cleopatra brings her baby to Rome, and it's like one of the greatest scenes ever. And I was like, okay. And I saw it and I was like, huh, she's right. Like, this scene slaps.
And I think this is where Renié and Vittorio really shine. Is this. And then Irene is just like the icing on top.
Yeah.
Like... It like those dancers with the wings.
Oh, the wings that were kind of giving me like a Bob Mackie type of feel before, you know. It was just.
There's the one girl in the flower pasties.
Yes,
bikini
the pasties that got so close to the camera. I was kind of shocked, actually.
I know. I was like, this has a G rating in 1963.
Yeah, so scandalous. But yeah, I mean, you just see waves and waves of dancers. These huge, incredible sets. I was very taken aback by the colors.
Yeah, lots of African influence.
Yeah. And I was very like taken by the purples, the blues, the reds, the golds. Like there was everything, and I was like, okay, this is still within the realm of the golden age of Hollywood before this murders, I guess, the golden age. But I was like this is something epic. This is what I would consider like something epic.
An epic scale.
Yeah, I was blown away by it. I could watch the scene over and over. I know some people say it's way too long. To me, I was like, this was the most captivating part of the entire film.
Yeah. Honestly, if you just want to watch up to the intermission and be done with Cleopatra, you're good.
I don't blame you.
It's okay.
Then Cleopatra steps down to see Caesar, and she just has this gorgeous headpiece, the gold,
all gold,
next to her son, and
her
he
son
looks
all in
great
gold
too. It's spectacular.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen this scene, you need to go watch it right now.
And I like how they did all the Roman citizens and senators and Caesar, and we get our first look at Antony, who I really like how he's not in his armor, but in something very fancy.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, he's trying to see what this Cleopatra is about.
Yeah.
Which apparently he sees quite a bit.
And William Ivey Long said to Entertainment Weekly about Cleopatra, those were costumes, as they say, with a capital K. It was a big, glamorous film. Everything Elizabeth Taylor wore could have been worn to the movie opening. They were couture gowns, totally over the top, totally appropriate for Cleopatra and Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah.
And like that's what that whole scene is.
Yeah,
over the top.
Totally. I mean, I don't know too much about Cleopatra, but I would like to envision that she is this big, I mean, she's supposed to be a god to these people. Yeah. So might as well lean into it. So at this point, with the budget this film had, I would also be like, you know what? Go for it. Yeah. Go big, Irene Sharaff.
Why not?
Go big or go home. And that's what they did.
They really did. They really did. And I like her costumes in Rome because they have a very Roman influence without looking like what all the other Roman women are wearing.
Yeah.
Especially that red, white, and black number.
Yeah.
I really loved that. And her her black and gold getaway dress with the blue veil. Yeah. I was like, girl, you're not hiding.
Oh, come on.
With the huge tassel earrings.
Yeah, no, it was very interesting though to see the way that she was kind of like had like that signature Roman drape to her.
Yeah.
But still, it was like she was blending both worlds. At, like all the time, Egyptian and Roman as a through line.
But just like the film, we need a little intermission.
A little intermission before we get to the dark part of this film.
Yeah. This is a long movie, y'all. This is a long movie, and we will see you shortly.
All right. All right, Elizabeth, are you ready to head back to Egypt?
Oh, yeah.
Because somehow we are not done with Cleopatra. We have a lot more trauma to bring to Egypt for her.
Well, Caesar's dead, so now she's got to pivot her plans.
And I'll say, I was kind of shocked when Caesar died, which
really?
I know, which is very much historically recorded.
That's
but when he died,
a big historical moment.
When he died, and then it hit intermission, I was like, well, what are we going to do with the rest of the film? I thought that's what the whole movie was about.
No, the rest is Antony and Cleopatra.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, we're doing the same film just 2 times.
Yeah.
Just the second time is a little bit more cringy.
Yeah.
So some time goes forward. I believe that they said it was like 3 years or something.
Something like that. Travel took a long time back then.
When it counts in this film, sometimes it's a couple seconds. But yeah, so we're back in Egypt, and Cleopatra obviously feels like a little bit more older, a little bit more mature.
Yeah.
But she's like fully the ruler of Egypt at this point.
Oh yeah.
She's not trying to go between these both worlds at the time because Caesar's dead and she's kind of over it. Like she's like, Egypt's her thing now.
She absolutely is. She just wants to be secure in her position. That's all she wants. And well, actually, she wants her son to be ruling Rome as well.
Yeah.
Like actually,
she wants quite a bit.
She does want quite a bit. But I love this first look of hers because she's clearly like mourning Caesar. Mm-hmm. And she's got a kind of like more conservative version of the gold headpiece and silver.
I'd say.
Conservative for Cleopatra.
Yeah.
Restrained for Cleopatra. But she's got this whole like silver, gold, and purple number, and it's just top notch. She's got like one of her courtiers, her like main advisor guy, gets a little bit of like an upgrade to like black and gold.
Yeah.
And it suits him.
Yeah. No, he looks good. Cleopatra's crew.
Oh.
Top notch.
They're killing it.
All of the handmaids and servants, whatnot. She takes care of her court.
She does.
I would say. And actually, I did read a lot that actually a lot of the people that worked with Elizabeth Taylor, amongst all the drama, also said that she was actually very nice and very kind to all the people that she worked with.
That's what I've heard too.
Despite all the drama, they were like, actually, she was nice to work with.
Yeah.
If she was there.
Yeah. If she was in the room, fantastic.
Yeah.
Also, who really wants Cleopatra in the room is Antony. The one they're like, she's got to come to Rome. And it's like, you're not going to get that woman to Rome. Although, I love how she gives them what they want without giving them what they want.
She rolls her boat up into the parking lot across from Rome. She's like, you're coming on my boat.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a baller move.
Right.
I love
that. I love the blue, the black, the gold. I think they've even like painted her skin gold.
Yeah.
She looked very shimmery in that opening boat scene. Mm-hmm. And I was just confused.
Yeah. Just felt like she was appearing almost like the savior that Marc Antony needs in his life when he sees her. But of course he gets very Marc Antony has a serious crash out amongst many in this film. And the first one is when he realizes that Cleopatra's wearing that golden necklace made out of the coins of Julius Caesar. He does not take that well.
He does not. But she's like, you know what, sir? You're gonna do what I want you to.
Yeah.
Because she seduces that man like nobody's business. And I love his look in this with the blue and the leopard skin.
Yeah.
chef's kiss. I like how they like change up the Roman look in this film, because I feel like a lot of times it's kept very standard, the like red or gold armor. Yeah. But this, I'm like, I like the change ups. I like the change ups.
The subtle, I believe it's Jaguar, the subtle like Jaguar notes that would
make more sense.
In, like his clothing and sometimes her clothing when they kind of like are finally together. Mm-hmm. Well, I shouldn't say finally because no one asked for that.
They're always back and forth.
Yeah, but yeah.
And we just get a lot of drama. A lot of looks. One of her favorite looks for this second half for me is that green and gold gown with all the pleating. I was like, oof. Yeah. Girl.
Yeah. That snatched little waistline.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I also love the amount of like Rome we get to see in the second half.
Yeah. I mean, shout out to the production and set designers that created these sets because they were incredible.
And we get to see Antony's Roman wife.
Oh, yeah.
And that poor woman, she's just like stuck in this game between these two men.
Yeah. But that's like a good costume to speak to, like for Renié also though, who like I really do appreciate the drape of that like Roman dress that she's wearing, almost looking like a statue of her time.
And I also love like especially like the bust lines for the Roman women. Yeah. It gives me very like 1950s new look, which I'm like, yeah, they would be a little more like old school conservative compared to Cleopatra, who's out here being like, I'm gonna do what I want.
Yeah, very eccentric.
Although talking about like culture and costume coming together, that orange and gold like nighttime outfit she wears when she's like, Antony has betrayed me, and she's stabbing everything with the sword. Kills. It is so good.
It's so good and just so 60s too. I'm like, this is such a snapshot.
The hair, the eye makeup,
everything about it. It's just it's
the way she screams his name. I was like, girl, get it together.
And I believe that scene was actually happening at a time when her and her affair with Richard Burton were actually in a very bad place.
I'm like, the second half of this movie is messy, and so is your life. It's like art imitating life, life imitating art. Yeah, not good.
If you don't want to like just learn about it, I mean, it's messy in today's standards of like messy celebrity relationships.
Oh yeah,
very bad. Both married too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, so this is a crazy affair. Not going well, and it was bleeding into like the film and stage. Of course, I think Elizabeth Taylor actually handles it very well. I think she does great in her parts.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That being said, I don't think Richard Burton was a great actor in this film.
I don't think he was. But we have some more great Cleopatra looks. I call this her goth court look, because literally black, silver, gold for her court, and she's in this like fantastic red, white, and blue number with just Egyptian symbols all embroidered all over it. Yeah. And like, I wish we got to see more of the back in the film, because I just stumbled upon like one of these like costume snapshots for reference, and it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
I love that scene because she's basically like, you're gonna give me what I want because you screwed me over.
Yeah. And then it gets even more goth when she like puts her son on the throne and she's also in black, and it's just like, girl, you know what you're doing.
I'll be honest, I think I slept through this part.
Spencer.
I don't remember seeing the sun. Look, guys, it was a long movie.
It's a long
movie. I must have checked out this part, but I did come back. Don't remember this, but that looks great. I was missing this. I was like, where is the sun? And seeing her in that little black number 2 next to her son with him on the big stage right there. Ooh, I gotta go back and watch that.
You do.
Dang.
You do. Before that, Amazon Did you rent it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Get in there.
I played it like 3 or 4 times. So at some point they're going to lock me out.
So there's, especially in the second half, there are so many costume changes. In one of those documentaries I was watching about Elizabeth Taylor, there's another clip of her just being like, it was just costume after she was like, I just felt like I was part of like a costume parade. She was like, this wasn't a film, it was just a parade of costumes. But this is true.
Yeah, I mean, she's not wrong.
But there are some standouts in the second half. Yeah. The all white number with her like crown hair.
Yeah.
I loved that. Her black, red, and silver nightgown.
Ooh, that was one of my favorites.
That was chef's kiss.
Which looks ridiculous next to Marc Antony.
Yeah.
I want to say he doesn't look good in his...
No, he never looks good in the second half of this film. No. After that, like, jaguar and blue armor, he's just like a mess.
Yeah. I mean, he does not look like a warrior to me. This guy needed to hit the gym.
He did.
Instead of hitting women.
Really did. Yeah. So true. We also get another one of these like great court outfits.
Oh, this one was ridiculous.
With like this crown wig combo.
If you're not watching on YouTube, you really need to come by and see some of these costumes because this one.
It's wild.
The headpiece is so wild. I don't even know how they came up with this one.
I don't know. And I wish I'd like gotten to do a little bit more research about everyone else involved because I want to know how they came up with this.
Yeah.
I want a tutorial. How did you make this?
It looks like she has like a bunch of Statue of Liberties on her head almost.
I think they're definitely a bunch of little like Egyptian god statues and then like this just like gold hair helmet thing.
But that purple dress that she's wearing, I feel like I've seen it before too. I don't know. It's stunning.
It is.
And I love the use of purple on her. It looks great. Also, I mean, her eyes have always had like a violet tint, Elizabeth Taylor. So I feel like this is one of those costumes where they really let her eyes stand out too.
Absolutely. Also, I feel like this is like really her last standout look is her like military commander outfit, all blue with like the fur lined coat. I saw this and I was like, almost worth sitting through the second half just to see this. You don't get to see it for very long either.
Yeah, that one did stand out to me. I obviously love the headpiece. But I was also really struck by like the jaguar fur lining underneath too, because that to me was like, that was saying that she, I don't know, it's like she's fighting Rome, but she still is acknowledging Caesar
stands
at the
with
same
them.
time. Yeah, I don't know. She was very torn on the whole thing. But she just needed a win, is what Cleopatra needs. So
she did.
She kept telling Marc Antony to get his ass up because we need a win on this day. And boy, did we not get it.
We did not get it. And she knows it.
They lost. We lost. The production lost.
Everyone lost.
Everybody lost.
Everyone lost. But she ends it in simplicity and style. This white gown, the orange and red coat she's wearing, chef's kiss.
Yeah.
And then her bestie handmaids burying her in the gold outfit from when she enters Rome. Stunning. And I like this end because you really get to see her handmaidens for the first time. They're always kind of in the background, and this is where they really stand out.
Yeah. And you can see how like invested they are in protecting her, but they're realizing that things are going very south very fast.
This is the end of the road.
I did love that white look on her though toward the end with the orange shawl over her. It just felt, I don't know, it worked with the coast. It looked good on her. Oof. So many good ones.
The little gold dagger just hanging there.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
Wow.
And that is Cleopatra.
Yeah, I mean, what else is there to say? There's just so many. We could just talk about costumes all day long from this film.
Yeah. We really cut it down. We really cut it down.
We really cut it down. I mean, it's just like one of those films that's just not, it wasn't recorded well in terms of the costumes. All they would talk about was just how many costumes there were.
Yeah.
Historians would talk about, and just how expensive it was. But I would love to hear more, about the research, if there was any, which I assume, Irene Sharaff, I'm sure, was a researcher and a historian in ways. So I loved it. What would you give this film as a Stitch rating, though? It's hard to rate older films.
It is. I'm gonna give it a 2.5 for incredible costuming, incredible sets, the music. Everything else is terrible. Like, even they have fantastic actors in this. None of them are doing. I think Rex is the only one that's really like acting his ass off.
Yeah.
In this.
Yeah. I think I'm also gonna say a 2.5. I did like this movie though.
Me too.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was. I do think it was good. It's just like it really suffered from their obvious because we know writing a script in a moment is never a good idea.
No, it is not.
It's not good. So I think it definitely suffered from that. I think Richard Burton really brings the second half of this film down.
Yeah.
And also Mankiewicz famously talked about how he always once he did kind of have creative control over this film, which he never truly did.
Yeah.
He was like, this needs to be a 2-part movie.
It should have been.
He was like, I see this as one movie with the way the intermission was set. That's where he wanted this first movie to end. And then they will regroup and come back for the second half. And Fox did not want that.
Fox, you missed out.
Yeah. So I think that they would have benefited from that. And they even did cut. I guess there's a version out there where they brought down to 2.5 hours. But of course they were like, it didn't make any sense because all they did was just jump around scene to scene.
Yeah.
That's there's so much storytelling, but not really. So I'm going to stick with a 2.5. Like you said, you cannot deny that the costumes are outstanding. They won an Oscar.
Yeah.
And one of the few Oscars, I will say. Elizabeth Taylor was not nominated for an Oscar.
I'm not shocked.
You don't think? I thought she did great.
She did fine. She showed up and she did her job.
But I cannot imagine anyone else as Cleopatra, though, because Elizabeth Taylor was at the top of her game. She was probably the most famous actress in this moment.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine. She, to me, she was right for this film. She was Cleopatra. And just all the drama and the press fascination with her just made it even more evident. That being said, it's still 2.5. If you cut an intermission, it might be a 3.
Yeah. I also think because I know a lot of historical context around it, I'm like, ooh. Ooh. Although I must say, I do appreciate they gave her more smarts than most people would. Mm-hmm. Because for a long time, historians were like, oh, she was just a seductress who manipulated men to get what she wanted. And it's no, she was a powerful woman in a man's world who knew what she wanted and how to get it.
And was widely a successful ruler.
Absolutely.
So, well, maybe we can figure out a one cost to rule them all, though.
Spencer, I think there was only one costume to rule them all.
Really?
For Cleopatra.
Well, let's hit the music, Daniel.
The one costume to rule them all. Spencer, I think we're in agreement.
Are we?
On this movie.
Okay. Well, should we say at the same time?
Yes.
The one costume to rule them all is the
golden look.
Okay. From when she arrives to Rome, when she comes down those stairs after the parade she had, which was 15 minutes in the movie. I thought it was fantastic. That was such an image. I agree. I could have a print of that film somewhere in my office.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's gorgeous, and it just feels very rich. You could tell that they put so much into it. The headpiece, the beading, I want to say metalwork, but I don't know if it's real metal.
I think it's all sequencing.
Oh, well, it looks incredible. That is an iconic piece.
It absolutely is. It's perfect for that scene, and then it's a perfect costume for them to end on when she's laying there. Just like chef's kiss through and through.
Ugh. Well, that brings us to the end of Cleopatra.
Yes.
I'm so glad that you picked this one.
You're welcome.
She put it on a schedule, and I was just kind of like, okay. Like, I've never seen Cleopatra, but I've obviously heard about it.
And we've talked about trying to get more older films onto the podcast.
And so far, we've been 2 for 2.
We have been 2 for 2.
Cleopatra. I don't know.
I think we're headed in the right direction.
I think we killed it. Once I start reading about the drama, I was like, oh, I'm hooked.
That's what brings you into this movie.
I'm going to continue deep diving on the drama after today's episode. But let us know what you thought of Cleopatra. If you were able to get through the whole 4-hour movie, or even if you got through the first half, send us an email at theartofcostume@gmail.com. Love to hear or comment on our Instagram and TikTok, because I'll be posting clips, and I'm sure everyone will have a lot to say, like you did on Pride and Prejudice. Follow us on Instagram at The Art of Costume Pod, TikTok at The Art of Costume. We still have a merch store, theartofcostume.com/podstore. Get yourself a mug like this one that we have right next to me if you're seeing it on YouTube. Oh, and speaking of, follow us on YouTube. Subscribe, leave us comments. Don't listen without subscribing, because that's just rude.
Yeah.
You know, it's because it's right there. Just hit the button.
And it helps us a lot.
It helps us, and you can see all these beautiful costumes that we're ranting and raving about. Elizabeth, Historical Hot Girl Summer continues in our next episode. And I've been wanting to do this film since the very beginning, but it hasn't worked, and now it has.
Yes. This is a top 5 Elizabeth Joy Glass costume film, although it is just also an amazing film altogether.
Oh.
Everybody, next week, we will be watching Memoirs of a Geisha.
Ooh, I am so excited. I just watched it for the first time a couple hours ago. Loved it. And I have a lot to say about it, so I'm excited.
Yes. All right. Everybody, go watch Memoirs of a Geisha, and we'll see you next week.